Let me tell you something real. You deserve a love that doesn't require you to lose yourself. Let's be real. Most of us have been there. I'm guilty of it. We fall in love, and before we even realize it, we start disappearing. Slowly, quietly, piece by piece. We start giving up the little things that used to make us feel alive. You know what I mean? The music we used to blast in that car, it don't hit the same. It don't. Why? Because they didn't like that kind of music. The dreams we used to chase to, every day, that gets pushed to the side now because we wanted to make time for their dreams. The way we used to dress, the way we used to talk, the way we used to laugh, all of it starts to fade until we're no longer us. And guess what? We're just a reflection of who they wanted us to be. We stop being the main character in our own story and we start becoming a side character in theirs. I know you're guilty of it. And you want to know the crazy part is we call that love. But it's not love. It's self-abandonment disguised as connection. See, you got to get it right. And the crazy part is we don't even notice it happening. It starts small. Canceling plans with friends just to be with them. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Changing your tone so arguments don't start. Saying it's fine when you know it's not, just to keep the peace in the house. See, you think you compromising, but really you're disappearing. You start waking up and you realize that your thoughts revolve around their moods. It's the worst feeling. Their happiness, their approval. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You forget that before they came along, you had your own rhythm. You had your own world. You had your peace, your hobbies, your laughter, your confidence, your ambition. You had things that made you feel alive, but now you feel like a guest in your own body trying to figure out who you became and how the hell you even got here. And that's the thing that nobody tells you. Love shouldn't feel like losing oxygen. It shouldn't feel like, you have to shrink yourself just to fit into someone else's version of peace. It shouldn't require you to choose between being loved and being you. Real love adds to your life. It doesn't erase it. Real love inspires growth, not guilt. Real love brings freedom, not fear. But because we've been hurt before, because, we've been lonely, we start settling for anything that looks like affection. We start calling toxicity passion. We start calling inconsistency, chemistry. We start chasing chaos because it feels so doggone familiar. And guess what? When that person leaves, or worse, when you finally realize that you've lost yourself in trying to keep them, you're left staring at that mirror. You're left staring at that mirror and you looking at it like you're a stranger. You're not laughing the same. You're not dreaming the same. You're just surviving. You're trying to remember who you were before love made you actually forget. And that's the part that hurts the most, see? Not that they're gone, but that you went with them. They left and you feel like your body left with them. But hear me when I say this. The version of you that existed before the heartbreak is still in there. God didn't let you lose yourself permanently. You have to believe that. He's waiting on you to rediscover you. That's why the relationships didn't work, my friend. Not because you weren't enough, but because you kept trying to love someone at the expense of your own soul. See, God had to break your heart to save your identity because he saw that you were worshiping what wounded you. You were giving all your energy to something that drained your purpose, and you know it. And sometimes that breakup was just God's rescue mission. He had to pull you out before you completely disappeared because you was going to go. The Bible says in Mark 12 verses 31, love your neighbor as yourself. But a lot of people forget the second part, as yourself. That means before you can pour into anybody else, you have to know what you need, what you love, who you are. You can't love from an empty place. You can't give peace if you haven't found it. You can't offer joy if you've been running on pain. You know what I'm saying? That's why this next season of your life isn't about just finding love. It's about finding who? You. Because the real version of love won't make you feel small. The real version of love won't punish you for finally having boundaries. The real version of love won't feel like walking on eggshells. The right person will never ask you to stop being yourself to keep them. I can promise you that. They'll clap for your dreams, not compete with them. They'll pray with you, not play with you. They'll protect your peace, not poison it. And they'll help you heal, finally heal, not reopen wounds that you spent years trying to close. But before that love comes, you've got to build the relationship you have with you. You've got to sit with your silence, your pain, your regrets. And instead of trying to replace them, you have to understand them. Because healing isn't about becoming who you were before the pain. You know what I mean? It's about building who you're meant to be after it. It's saying, I love me enough to not lose me again. So if you're watching this and you're tired of giving all your energy to people who don't see your worth. And I know that's a lot of us. Tired of trying to fix someone who was never yours to heal. Tired of forgetting who you are just to be loved. You know what I mean? This is your wake-up call. It's time to come home to yourself. It's time to remember that your peace is not negotiable. Your love is not a bargain. Your heart is not a playground. And your value doesn't decrease just because someone couldn't handle it. You have to remember that. And guess what? One day, someone is going to love you and still want you to be you. They're going to see your independence as beautiful, not threatening. They're going to celebrate your confidence, not try to control it. But before that person arrives, see, God needs you to love yourself the way you wanted to love them. Because when you truly love yourself, you stop chasing what actually breaks you. You stop begging for what drains you. You stop trying to prove your worth to people who were never meant to hold it. So yes, you deserve love. But you deserve a love that doesn't require you to lose yourself. You deserve a love that helps you find more of you. The love that doesn't cage you, but frees you. The love that doesn't silence you, but amplifies you. And until that love comes, be that love for yourself. Take yourself on walks. Take yourself to the movies. Reconnect with your peace. You know what I'm saying? Talk to God more. Forgive yourself for all the times that you gave too much. And remind yourself that losing someone was never the end. It was the beginning of rediscovering the person that you were always meant to be. Because here's the truth. Here's the truth. Watch this. You never really lost yourself. You just forgot how powerful you were, how deserving and how whole you already are. You know what I'm saying? And God is about to remind you. See, that's why I wrote that ebook, Letting Go When God Says So. That's why I wrote that. Because too many of us are trying to let go of something and then we're losing ourselves in the process. Or we lost ourselves while we were in that. That's why I wrote the ebook. That's why I talk so much on letting go and not losing yourself. Because I lost myself. I couldn't recognize who I was. I'm still regaining, pieces of me. I'm still regaining it. But you got to recognize that. First thing that you have to do is get real with yourself and recognize that you did lose yourself. And it's okay. Once you do that, we can get back to it. We can get back to who we were. And who we were, that's what's going to truly make us happy. You know what I'm saying? But you deserve that love. You know what I'm saying? You deserve the love. I'm yapping. Another day of yapping. If you're having a hard time letting go, check out that ebook, Letting Go When God Says So. And until next time, handle your business. Peace. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.